Can you tell us a bit about yourselves, introduce yourselves, and what this organization is, and what your role is in the organization?
Ми благодійний фонд «Люди Об'єднані Україною». Ми займаємося допомогою нашим військовим, нашим пораненим, нашим громадським людям, які знаходяться на тільки звільнених територіях. Ми допомагаємо амуніцією хлопцям, ми допомагаємо медициною. Також ми допомагаємо нашим громадським, ми допомагаємо одягом, ми допомагаємо продуктами харчування, ми допомагаємо медициною, а також, звісно, по гігієні. Крім цього, ми робимо повністю юридичний супровід людям, які цього потребують і які не можуть собі цього дозволити.
I'll do the English part. So we're a charity fund, People United by Ukraine. We do really a lot of things here. We are helping our army. We're focusing on delivering medical supplies to the front line, as well as helping hospitals, stabilization points, field hospitals with medical supplies that they need as close to the front line as we can, and also in other cities of Ukraine as well, depending on the need. But not just that, we also help our army with ammunition, and we also take care of the civilians. We go to the recently liberated areas, and we push things such as food, clothes, hygiene items, and other necessary things that are very desperately needed in the areas that are pretty much destroyed, but people are still living there.
Крім цього, ми допомагаємо нашим героям, які отримали поранення, які втратили кінцівки, ми допомагаємо їм з протезуванням. Повністю ми з нашими партнерами з Польщі, з Ізраїлю, з Америки, ми робимо протезування.
Other things that we do is we do legal help to soldiers who need it, and we also help wounded soldiers a lot in the hospitals, and we have a lot of partners who help us provide prosthetics to soldiers who lost limbs at war.
So one of my questions is, this documentary is about 1 year of full-scale war. It's been 12 months. When this is shown on TV, it will be more than 1 year. How have you seen the situation change from February 2022 to February 2023? For better, worse? How would you describe it?
In my personal opinion, the situation has both improved and deteriorated. Improved in the sense that Ukraine became stronger, and we have built an incredibly efficient system of internal supplies here, because I'm sure you're aware that there are so many volunteers who are covering the needs of the army, of the impacted civilians and injured soldiers, that we're basically covering for the gaps that government in theory should be taking care of. But our government cannot do everything, and we normal people do this. And I think we got really good at it. In my personal opinion, this volunteer system has become way more efficient than it was in the beginning. And on the bad side, on the downside, I would say that unfortunately, closer to this date, the war is starting to forget about Ukraine. I started noticing this effect about half a year into the active phase of the war. Sadly, Ukraine started disappearing from the news. Many people got used to the fact that there was a war going on in Europe, and less people were caring. But I hope that the world will still remember about us and will still keep helping.
What is the hardest part for you two, these last 12 months? What was affected the most from the life you had before?
For me personally, the hardest part was losing my entire social circle. I was pretty much almost the only person from my group of friends that has stayed in Ukraine. My coworkers, my friends, my acquaintances, my hairdresser, my dentist, everybody has left. And I found myself in a sort of vacuum without the people I know, without the connections I'm used to. And I had to build a new social circle from scratch. So if I'm talking about, if your question was about me personally, us personally, then my answer is this, that yeah, losing social circle and having to build one from scratch was the most traumatizing part.
Самое тяжелое – это когда ты не можешь помочь ребятам, которые находятся на нуле в Бахмуте или на других горячих точках, когда ты понимаешь, что тебе не хватает времени и возможности помочь тем, кто в этом действительно нуждается. Это вопрос номер один. И самое тяжелое – это видеть людей, которые находятся, гражданских людей, которые находятся на нуле, которые ждуны, которые ждут непонятно или победы нашей, или русский мир, которые не участвуют в военных действиях и не помогают спасать Украину. Самое тяжелое – это видеть их и понимать, что им все равно, что творится в Украине, что творится с их близкими, что творится с нашими военными ребятами, что они гибнут, у них своя шоу-программа, и от этого очень больно.
So for Lena, the hardest two things were knowing that guys in the front line desperately need help and not always being able to timely deliver it where it's needed, and knowing that many guys died because they haven't received help in time. And the other thing is going to the red zone and witnessing people who still live there, locals who choose to remain in those bombarded child villages because they want Russia to take them over. And they do not take part in protecting the country. They do not help anyone. They just sit there under shelling. They require help. And other people risk their lives to deliver the help for them. But sadly, they are very brainwashed by Russian propaganda, and they just sit there and hope for the Russian army to take them over. That's very sad.
One of the things that we noticed from the first time we came to Ukraine is that there is a very strong sense of volunteering in Ukraine. At least the people who have stayed, a lot of them became volunteers in many different ways. Why did you decide to become a volunteer? You said most of your friends left, but you stayed, you're here. Why do you do this?
Okay, about me, Alina will speak for herself. So, actually, I became a volunteer in 2014 when the war actually started, and I've been helping the army for almost 9 years by now, or is it 9 already? So yeah, since 2014, pretty much. I'm very impacted by this war personally because my male friends, all of them are fighting. My relatives and my family members are on the front line, and I feel like I don't have any other choice but help them and support them. I cannot just choose to get out and forget about it because my direct family and social circle is impacted by that. So of course I'll help.
У мене історія проста, я людина бізнесу. Частина моїх друзів пішли воювати. Звісно, я не можу бути гірше за них, тому ми пішли волонтерити. Також ми всі дуже прекрасно розуміємо, що якщо зайде сюди російський мір, то ми не те, що зробити бізнес тут не зможемо, ми тут не зможемо жити, тому що вони в себе в країні не можуть навести порядок, а вони лізуть до нас. Тому тут навіть не стояв вибір. Мені подобається допомагати людям. Ми допомагали людям ще до війни, ми допомагали інвалідам, пенсіонерам, дітям. А зараз все робимо те ж саме, тільки в дуже великих пропорціях і в набагато складніших умовах. Але те, що ми робимо, це нам доставляє задоволення, тому що ми розуміємо, що ми корисні, що ми потрібні цим людям, яким ми допомагаємо. І ми цим надихаємось, тому ми волонтери, тому я волонтер. Мені це подобається.
Alina's story is simple. She comes from a business background, and when the war started, first of all, yes, a lot of her friends and family members went to fight as well, but besides that, she understood that if Russia takes us over, her business will come to an end, many other businesses will come to an end, people won't have means to survive. Seeing how Russia handles their own stuff internally, we don't want that kind of chaos here. And of course, there was no other choice left other than to start volunteering and helping our army to win this war. But she was helping before this active phase of the war as well. She was helping handicapped people and elderly people. So she pretty much just enjoys being helpful and doing this for others.
What's the situation like at the front line or close to the front line? You go there, you deliver supplies, and you for sure face many dangers, during these missions that you do. What's it like?
It's surreal. I would describe it as surreal. Of course, it is dangerous. There is shelling, there is gunfire all around. There are missiles landing to our left and to our right. So once we nearly got hit by a tank that emerged out of nowhere in the dark when we were driving in the dark. So yeah, it is dangerous. And at the same time, the surreal part is that in those half-destroyed villages, there are still people and even families with little kids. And so you come to an area which is maybe not exactly the front line, but it is a red zone because it's immediately close to the front line, like a couple of kilometers away. And for us, this is a very dangerous area. We see it that way. And then you see 5-year-old kids just running around, playing in their backyards, hiding in the basements, or living in their homes that don't have a roof anymore. So it really breaks my heart. And it brings tears to my eyes. So yeah, it is dangerous, but at the same time, it's also this weird feeling like, why don't people remove their kids from there? Why do children have to live under shelling in destroyed places? Спрашивают, как на передовой, но я рассказала про то, что мы в Mariupol.
Okay, so I think my last question probably is, what kind of help do you need? Who usually helps you? So all this stuff must come from somewhere. You mentioned America.
Yeah.
Who usually helps you, and is it enough? Do you need more? And how can people help you?
Нас спрашивают, как нам помочь, что нам нужно, откуда нам приходит помощь и как нам еще могут помочь.
Ми дуже багато допомагаємо на ту передову, ми дуже багато допомагаємо нашим хлопцям, я вже це казала. У нас є дуже багато партнерів з Америки, з Європи, і ми дуже їм вдячні за це. Але навіть всього цього не вистачає, щоб врятувати усі життя наших хлопців і наших дітей. Ми раді партнерству іноземних компаній, іноземних фондів, всіх, хто вірить в Україну, всіх, хто вірить в нашу перемогу, всіх, хто хоче допомогти нашим дітям, які страждають, нашим пораненим хлопцям, які замість того, щоб любити своїх жінок, замість того, щоб любити своїх дітей, замість того, щоб займатися сім'єю, роботою, бізнесом, вони вимушені йти на війну, щоб захищати наші домівки, щоб захищати свої сім'ї, щоб захищати нас. Ми будемо вдячні кожному, хто захоче нам допомагати. Ми цінуємо кожного, хто нам вже допомагає. І ми просимо у вас допомоги, у вас та ваших друзів, щоб вони до нас приєднувалися і допомагали разом з нами.